Hey guys, Nicole here. Thank you so much for tuning in. Excuse the way I look. It is 1 a.m. on a Monday, so, well, technically Tuesday now, and I just edited my video. I haven't had time for anything. But if you want to know how I got a cranberry fall look, just keep on watching. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and follow me on all my social media. I'll link that all below. Again, thank you very much. Bye! Okay, so in my first step, I'm just going to moisturize my face. I am using the Neutrogena Oil-Free Moisture for combination skin. I find this moisturizer to be a really good moisturizer for an affordable price. You can find this at Ulta or CVS or any drugstore. Okay? After I moisturize my face, I am going to go in with my primer. I'm using the Smashbox Photoready primer. It's like a silicone primer. I really like the way it feels on my skin, but I do find that there is a lot of primers that are just like it, and they're cheaper, like the e.l.f. primer or the NYX primer. But this will do for today. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with foundation. I am going to be mixing two foundations today. I'm going to be using my Marc Jacobs Remarkable foundation in the color Light Bisque and my Makeup Forever foundation in the color Y415. As you can tell, the Marc Jacobs foundation is way too light for my skin, and the Makeup Forever one is way too dark for my skin. So I am going to use these two to make my perfect skin match. And I went in with a Smashbox foundation brush to apply it to my face, and I noticed that my foundation came out kind of blotchy. I find it's better if you just go in straight with a beauty blender or a beauty sponge, because the foundation really goes on smoothly on the skin instead of leaving it patchy, kind of what it did with the foundation brush. So after I applied it with the foundation brush, I didn't really like the way it looked, so I sprayed some Fix Plus on my face, and I went in with a damp beauty sponge from Forever 21 and buffed in my foundation to my face to make it look more like skin-like instead of patches on my face, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyebrows off camera. Now I'm going to go in with some Urban Decay primer portion and apply it all over my lid using a tiny concealer brush. This concealer brush doesn't have a name or number. I got it in a Amazon set. I promise I'm going to get better brushes soon because I know it's important. But yeah, I mean, usually I just add the primer with my finger, but I find that if I apply it with a concealer brush, a tiny little detail brush, and then tap it in, I get a lot of the product and not lose it, because I feel like sometimes when you apply the product and wipe it away with a brush, you're losing the primer. Okay, so going in with Raw Sienna from the Modern Renaissance palette, I'm just going to set my primer with that using a Real Techniques 203 blending brush. I find this palette to have a lot of great transition shades, and that's why I use it so much in my makeup tutorials. I went ahead and put some sticky tape to prevent fallout from the makeup. I'm going in with windshield wiper motions. After I add the tempora, I'm going to go in with Raw Sienna just to create a deeper color for my next transition shade. I'm just going to place that on the outers of my eye and my inner corner. I'm going in with windshield wiper motions to create a halo eye. Just not going in the middle of my lid. Okay, so now taking a MAC blending brush. I don't know the number of it, but I will have it down below. I'm going to go in with the color Bone Fresco, and I'm going to add it right on top of that Raw Sienna to create a deeper purple, because I'm going to go ahead and go in with that even deeper purple right after I go in with this shade. And then I just do the same thing, kind of blend in windshield wiper motions outside the inner corners of my eye. Just not touching the middle of my eye. And then I'm using a clean blending brush by Smashbox and just cleaning everything up. I go in with a lot of clean brushes just to make sure that I'm building up the eyeshadow so I don't have any harsh lines. Alright, so now going in with another Anastasia shadow in the color Sangria. I'm going to place that in the outers of my eye and inner corner, and I'm going to place that a little bit more down towards my eyelashes to create that halo eye that I was talking about. And I'm using a Amazon kit blending brush for this. I'm not using anything fancy, but this is going to create a deeper purple. This eyeshadow is kind of a cranberry color. It's really, really pretty. And then I'm going to go in with the color Love Letter right after I blend out the color Sangria. The color Love Letter is also from the Modern Renaissance palette. Alright, that's Love Letter right on top of the color Sangria to make it a little bit deeper cranberry. And then I'm going to add a little bit of Venetian Red just to make it even more deep, because I want that transition to go from red and purple. And then I'm using a clean blending brush just to smoke everything out in windshield wiper motions. As you can tell that I didn't add anything on my inner lid because I'm going to go in with another color. Again, this is a clean blending brush, just smoking everything out. Alright, I'm taking off that sticky tape, and as you can tell, I kind of messed up. So I'm going to go in with a makeup wipe and fix that real quick. Okay, so somehow the part where I put in my inner corner eyeshadow got deleted. So just to let you guys know, I'm using the color Tiger's Eye from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's like a coppery gold color, and I just place it in the middle of my eyelid, and then I blended out the colors on the edges. And then for concealer, I am using the NARS Creamy Concealer in the color Creme Brulee to highlight, and I'm using a Real Techniques Beauty Sponge to blend it all out. Okay, so I went ahead and did my eyeliner off camera because I can't focus on doing eyeliner on camera. It just does not show up. But after I did my wings, I'm going to go in with a little detail brush and fix everything and smoke out everything so everything's blended in together. And I'm also going to add the shades that I used for my smoky eye as my eyeliner on my bottom lid. So I'm going to go in with Sangria and Love Letter and Red Ochre, and I'm going to place it on my bottom lid to make this eye a little bit smokier. I'm just going to be using a small eyeliner brush and picking up the eyeshadows and blending them all together. Then I'm going to go in with some Love Letter and place it on the outers of my eye. Okay, so in this part, I'm going to be highlighting my brow bone with the color Veemer from that same Modern Renaissance palette. I'm using that MAC blending brush to do so, and I'm just adding that Veemer on my brow bone. Okay, so for my final step, I'm going to be using the Stilla Magnificent Glitters in the color Rose Gold Retro, and I'm just going to go in with a little tiny detail brush and place it right on top of that copper gold color just to give it more of a shine. And I'm very, very careful with this because these glitters dry so fast. And I also like to put the glitter on after I put on my mascara because I find it's really hard to work with eyeliner and mascara right after you put on glitter. And then I'm just going to blend everything out. And that is the completed look.